BSK kicks us off talking Browns here on The Fix.
Well, you can tell everybody. Yeah, you can tell everybody. Go ahead and tell everybody. I'm the man, I'm the man, I'm the man. Well, you can tell everybody. Yeah, you can tell everybody. Go ahead and tell everybody. I'm the man, I'm the man, I'm the man.
A public service announcement from the Sports Fix. We here at the Sports Fix and our affiliates would like to apologize for any disturbing verbal actions, but remember, it's better having them trapped in a box than loose on the streets. Public service announcement from the Sports Fix. The Sports Fix, the sports show that cares.
Hey guys, let me get just a minute and talk to you because millionaires are being made all season long at DraftKings.com, America's favorite one-week fantasy football site. Of course, you know we have our year-to-year full season league. One-week fantasy football means no season-long commitments. You play whenever you want. If you've got an injured player, and boy do I know about that, no problem. At DraftKings.com, it's like a new season every week. You're never stuck with the same players. You can pick your team in minutes and be on your way to winning huge cash. Nothing wrong with cash. This season, one listener turned $10 into $5,000. Another turned $2 into $10,000. A new millionaire has been crowned nearly every week this season at DraftKings.com. You could be next. Imagine winning $1 million in one day just for playing fantasy football at DraftKings.com. Get free entry into their $100,000 fantasy football contest this weekend, where first place takes home $10,000. Head to DraftKings.com now and enter promo code Spreaker to play for free at DraftKings.com. Bigger events, bigger winnings, bigger millionaires. Enter Spreaker for free entry now at DraftKings.com. DraftKings.com. That's DraftKings.com.
Hey, Sports Fix fans, I'm Fred McLeod, TV voice of the Cavaliers. When I'm not busy taking elbows from my buddy Austin Carr, I'm tuning in to see what the guys are saying.
Come on, Cavs.
Football season is party season at Harry Buffalo North Olmsted. Everyone wins at Harry Buffalo. Every Saturday is Coors Light College Football Saturday with $6 pitchers, 4 bottles for $10, and the Buckeyes in full HD. Football season is most definitely party season, and your headquarters is Harry Buffalo North Olmsted all winter long. Harry Buffalo, join the herd. Fantasy sports lovers, you put so much time, hard work, and effort into playing week to week that it quickly stops being a fantasy and starts getting real. And when the smoke clears, you want to show off those victories with a real prize. I mean, a really real prize. Nobody does that like Fantasy Jocks. The crew over at Fantasy Jocks have beautiful, high-quality, and heavy-duty championship belts, rings, trophies, and so much more for all your fantasy sports needs. There's literally only one place to go. FantasyJocks.com.
What's your fantasy say?
Have you gotten your copy of Cleveland's Finest yet? Highlighting the best moments, players, and media members in Cleveland sports history?
He won it! Milo hit a three-pointer on the sideline!
In-depth personal interviews with some of the top names in Cleveland sports fill the pages of this incredible book. Cleveland's Finest by Vince McKee is this year's must-have book for every Cleveland sports fan. Available now at Amazon.com. Get your copy today.
I'm Pro Football Hall of Famer Paul Warfield. There's just one place where students are students first and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports help young people become confident leaders and role models and use the skills developed today to do even bigger things in life tomorrow. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
This message presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association.
You're listening to the Sports Fix.
Welcome back to the Sports Fix live across the Sports Fix Radio Network. J-Rock back with you guys. Jerry Myers kicking things off here. Going to be joined in just a moment on the hotline by my man, the BSK, Kendall Lewis here. We're going to talk some Browns football, and yeah, absolutely, a little Prince, you got the look. I want to know if the BSK thinks, do the Browns got the look? Where's he at with them? I'm going to check in with that when he gets here in just a moment. Kendall Lewis, always a fun time on Thursdays when the BSK joins us. You guys keep the conversation going. Of course, over in the Mixler chat room, I've got my crew over there, and hit us up over there. If you're listening to the show on any of the various platforms, by the way, you know that you can jump over to Mixler, mixlr.com, even if you're listening to the show on Spreaker, TuneIn, whatever, and you can jump in over there. It's a cool, interactive, real-time chat that you can do. And if you listen on the website, that chat is also available. And as well, hit us up, facebook.com/thesportsfix. Tweet with us at thesportsfixcle. Email us, thesportsfix@aol.com. As I said, Prince in the background talking about having the look. Does he think, Kendall Lewis, that is, that the Browns have the look? We'll find out right now. Let's go to the phones. And I see you in the chat room there. Like I said, some people yesterday made it seem like there's that Cleveland bias. Like, we get all the breaks over here. Get out of here with that noise. Anyways, Kendall Lewis, the BSK, going to join us here on the hotline. Kendall, how you doing this afternoon?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Hey, I'm all right, my man, and I'm half joking here, but after last week, you and I haven't talked since the Browns went to prime time and went to Cincinnati. As Prince is singing in the background, do the Browns yet have that look to you as they're the real deal, or where are you at after seeing what they did in Cincinnati?
Well, I can say that the way they played in Cincinnati was beyond my imagination. I couldn't see it. And if you asked me last Thursday, what do I think, the Browns are going to do, I would have said get smashed. But they hung in there like they have all season. They got some good plays, and they were able to get out a victory, not really gutting it out, but they used a lot of courage, a lot of resourcefulness, and they ended up playing a game that ended up in a score that wasn't even that close if you watched the game. So I was very heartened by the way they played, almost proud, because they've never in their renaissance played that well, especially with what was on the line, with who they were playing, where they were playing, who was out, who was missing for them, the key players. They had no great wide receiver, no great tight end. The running back situation is in shambles for whatever reason, due to the rotations, which are inexplicable at this time. Even Ben Tate says that, but they still got a credible game against, and almost in a lot of credit. And I did not see this win coming. I thought all week, in the aftermath of that, is going forward, and we talked about the schedule from here on out. And you say to yourself, well, if they can beat the Bengals, if they can beat the Steelers the way that they did, and I think a lot of people count the two good games against the Steelers with only the one win as a sign that they can beat anybody in the NFL. And, of course, that's how the NFL is set up. But there's something going on. I can't put my finger on it. I've been watching NFL football for about not been able to put my finger in the league. There's going to be 3 or 4 teams, 10-6 or better, who aren't going to make the playoffs. Cleveland may be one of those, but they have their own destiny in their hands, in that if they win out, or if they win the key games against Cincinnati again, against Baltimore, they'll be in a good shape. They just can't trip up anywhere along the way, and they do have some good teams to play. So I've never seen anything like this. But fortunately, the Browns are in first, 6-3. And you really can't count on the next win against the Texans. Just have to take it one game at a time.
Yeah, we'll talk about Houston in a minute, but I'm with you. Look, we've been just on the show with everybody that we talk to about the NFL and the way it's been this season. Like, they've always wanted to get, and they've had a league where, you can be last to first and you can quickly turn around from season to season, let alone from week to week. But this year, it's almost like the Frankenstein of that formula has gone off the deep end, because it's the week and you see team show up and look like a Super Bowl team one week, and then the next week you just go, wow, I didn't see that one coming. And I agree with you. It's been around the whole league, not just with the Browns here this year more than any. You know, they say careful what you wish for. Well, they got it for sure in the NFL, which is a good thing because of the unpredictability. I mean, you truly never know what to expect in any of these games.
No, you never do, but that's the way that the NFL fathers and Pete Rozelle set it up when I started watching, and that's the way it's really held true. There is no route other than the best team get the best, and anything in between can occur on a weekly basis. And so, you know, this week, I would guess the expectation is breaking in a new quarterback on the Houston Texans, that Cleveland would at home in the cold, but that's not the case. Houston has talent. They have great talent. They had an apparition season last year due to injuries and Matt Schaub. And so, you know, they can definitely beat the Browns. If Ryan Mallett has that one day that, you know, nobody can do anything with him, nobody can stop his throws. And how about this? Tashawn Gibson may be out.
Yes.
I mean, their defensive line Cleveland's may not be at top strength. And, you know, you got to go into these games and you say, well, this is the case. This guy's out. This guy's out. Jordan Cameron's career, in my mind, nobody's told me this, but I think his career hangs in the balance because with concussions, they kind of have a cumulative effect.
Yep.
I mean, you have one, yeah. You have two, okay, you're a young guy. But then when you start to get up into that 3 and 4, area in 1 year, I mean, it starts to have a debilitating cumulative effect on you. And so his career, even though we don't want to admit it, his career is in the balance and may be over. We don't know that. But things have happened that have been stranger. So what I'm saying is there's a lot of attrition and injury situations that are going on with this team that they've made it through so far. But I can't believe that they'll keep losing players, keep being down in strength like they want to be, and still end up the victors. I have to see it to believe it, and I'll be there to see it, as always.
Yeah, no, and I'm hearing you. That's tough. You keep losing another wave of guys. You brought up Gibson. That's one. He may not play with that concussion here, and they've already got some other guys banged up bad. And Mosley, I know, as well, with the concussion as well. So it may be, if Gibson doesn't play, I think it's going to be Jim Leonard back there probably taking most of those reps and Jordan Poyer. But another one that's not really been talked about too much because Mike Pettine's gone out of his way to say, hey, relax, we're going to wait until this week and see what happens. But Nick McDonald being banged up as well because that offensive line was just getting itself back together with McDonald in there at center. We saw they finally got back to running the ball for, 170 yards or so against Houston. And now, already the scenario is, hey, we may have to slide Greco over. We may have to go bring in Seymour here off of that. He's been practicing, and he may fill in. But that kind of sets you back 3-4 weeks there with what you just went through. If Nick McDonald isn't able to go, they said that they've kept him out and that they hope that he may be able to just play even if he doesn't practice. But as you know, this point in the week, as you're not practicing, your likelihood to play gets lower and lower. But just when you look like you may have pulled that offensive line back together, you may step back again.
Well, let's be honest and let's be real about this. McDonald is not the player John Greco is. He's not the player Alex Mack is. We know that.
Oh, yeah.
And so if they lose him and they have to move over Greco, I personally believe that's the better option because at center you hold the fortunes of your entire line in your hands. So you help the guards on either side, and it ruminates out on that offensive line, all the way to tackle and tight end and whatever else you do. It's the linchpin of everything that you do on the offense. So let's get this clear. Nick McDonald is not the player John Greco is, period. I'd rather see McDonald try to play guard or come up with McQuiston at guard and in concert with Greco than to see McDonald and Greco at guard, being as though McDonald is at the